Good afternoon everybody and welcome to the 4th round of the Formula ROBLOX League Division 1 Championship. It is 30 past 4 and qualifying is going to get underway now. So we've got 10 drivers right now in the server. We've got three drivers who have seemingly disappeared so far. And we've got one driver who unfortunately wasn't able to make the race last minute. I hope those guys will be able to join us over the course of the coming qualifying session. Also, this event is kind of going to also serve as a little test for the game because there has been a new fix here. Okay, I see in this call the 2 drivers are about to come, so that's good. I will bring the driver count. Just a reminder, because last time people were reversing out of the pit lane to use an exploit, but it has been clarified that that won't be allowed anymore. Okay, so I've got a pretty full grid right now. Unfortunately, the map has decided to stop working again at not exactly the optimal moment, which is a shame, of course. Not sure what has happened to the track map, but anyway, I'm going to have to do without the track map again for today, unfortunately. Anyway, we have now 11 cars out on track. I believe there's a 12th car joining in shortly. So we've got Hartmann about to start his flying lap in this race with just ahead of him, AG Capadonna. Hartmann coming around the first corner. In the slipstream, let's have a look at the pack. It's a really big pack right now. Both guys are for some reason Splastar is without a name above his head. I'm not sure how that has managed to happen, but we're going to ignore it. I think it has to do, whatever the reason for that is, why we can't see Splastar's name up here, it may be the same reason why our track map isn't working at this point in time. I'm not sure. It looks like Splastar's the only one without a name tag. Back to qualifying. We are now watching Hartmann on his first flying lap. Slipstream is going to be crucial in this qualifying session. You do want some slipstream on at least one of your flying laps. As we've got Tailfire and Splastar just behind, taking advantage of said slipstream. Hartmann quite far ahead. Looks like he got slowed down, or is he abandoning his lap? Not sure. May have run a little bit too wide, or maybe bagging so he could get the slipstream from Tailfire, who now is in the lead of this little pack over here. So Tailfire is probably going to be the first one to set a lap time around here. We'll see what that lap time will be. Pole position in the Division 2 race yesterday was, let me look it up quickly. Division 2 pole time was a 1:31.1 and 1:15, and Tailfire has nearly beaten that, just a few hundredths shy of that Division 2 pole lap. But Tailfire on provisional pole at the moment, with Hartmann in 3rd place, AG in 2nd, Almighty Device getting back into the car again. Jumping out, jumping in, jumping out again. Not sure what's going on with Almighty. His car's glitching, okay. Let's see if we can get that sorted out shortly. Hope we can. Oh, he left the game completely, okay. Your AG is having similar issues, so we may have to do a server refresh again. So give me one moment. Again. Okay, we're back. We've got most guys out on track right now. Tilfire is still on provisional pole, just 2 tenths ahead of Blaine, who is on the lap on his own. Doesn't have any slipstream, unfortunately, from anyone, so he's going to have to do it on merit if he wants to have a shot at pole position. But you probably have to rely on slipstream if you want to set a good lap time, I think. But we're going to see how Blaine's going to get on his lap. He's getting close to the final corners, approaching the final couple of corners now. So just got in that Portermaker is going to be reserve driving for Destructively, who unfortunately couldn't make today's race. So the Division 2 Championship leader is about to make his first appearance in this division, and it's going to be very interesting to see how he's going to get on. Okay, we've got a whole pack of cars right here on the back straight. I'm not sure what to call the back straight. The uphill section of this track. Very close pack. 4 cars very close to each other. Not sure what lap times they're currently on, so we have to wait and see what lap times they're going to do. But meanwhile, Hartman has put in pole position with a 1:30.5. So he made a pretty big improvement just there. But let's see if anyone can beat him. Leon, oh, just 15 thousandths of a second behind Hartman. Leon with a monster of a lap right there. Very close. And not quite happy that he just missed out, but really good effort from Leon right there. And let's see, Anthony move up a couple of spots to 7th place. No one else improved so far. I think Watermaker just set his first lap time of this session. He's now in 10th place. Meanwhile, we're going to stick on board with this pack of cars as they are on their final qualifying laps, as they won't have time to make it back to the line and start another flying lap. Just 5 cars, I can put a blanket over all of them, very close between the 5 guys. Interested to see who's going to snatch a pole position. I think Till may be in the shout, but Hartman also could be in the shout, I'm not so sure. It's really hard to keep up with all those cars being very close together. I mean, look at this. So this is going to be kind of a lottery, I guess, who gets where. Because of the slipstream, it makes qualifying pretty RNG, I guess. Anyway, qualifying has finished, the checkered flag has come out, and now we're waiting for everyone to finish their final runs. Till and Good Lap again behind Almighty, so if Till's going to be in Good Lap, then surely Hartman and Almighty are also going to put Good Lap time on. Almighty made a mistake, that's his lap ruined right there. Are there going to be any improvements? Hartman improves, nearly breaking into the 29s. Blaine is the only car yet to finish. He's sitting in P4 right now. Tailfire remains in P3. Didn't see any position changes. Now we're watching Blaine as he is soon about to finish his qualifying lap as well. Is Blaine going to improve? No slipstream, so it's going to be hard for him, but let's see as he crosses the line now. He does improve, but stays in 4th place just behind Tailfire, and that's qualifying over. It's pole position for Hartman, and Leon Daps getting 2nd place. So let's reset the server. Goodbye. Yes, goodbye server, let's reconnect. If Roblox wants to cooperate, I think it does finally, after a good amount of time. Now we should be in an updated server where the number of issues should hopefully be fixed. We'll have to wait and see on that, if that will truly be the case. Waiting for the rest to reach. I'm not sure what's going on because the track selection is gone, but I think Roblox may have done something weird. So I am going to rejoin the right server now. And we should be good to go after that debacle. There we go. Oh, Dark Eyes made it. Good, so we're going to have a full grid today. everyone is in by now. I think everyone is. Yes, we've got, I think for the first time in both divisions, we've got a full grid for today. All 14 drivers are here right now, so this is going to be very interesting. I've got a lot of drivers here. We've got a couple of reserve drivers in there as well. We've got Dash the Mash and Poltermaker joining us for this race. Everyone lining up as they should, no issues there. Track map isn't working though, not sure why, but we're going to ignore that. It is weird that it does happen in this key server when there's a leak race about to happen, where we would want the track map to be there, but I guess not. Everyone's able to move, that's a good sign. Everyone lining up into their correct grid slots. I see one empty grid slot though, I'm not sure who is meant to be there. Almighty is, okay, there we go. Okay, very close back. A few people running wide here and there on the first lap. Sorry for being silent at the start. I was also running the race. We've got Poltermaker out in the lead right now. The Division 2 Championship leader on his debut. Briefly in the lead there, as he's being passed by a lot of guys right now. Very close pack. And just like Division 2, slipstream is going to be key. And consistency is also going to be key. You do not want a penalty. You always want to have to get slipstream from someone in order to stay in the fight. You can be, I think, half a second slower on raw pace, but as long as you got slipstream, then you should be able to keep up with the car ahead of you. It is just a matter of not making a mistake by cutting a corner too much, where you lose up to 1.5 seconds if you are unfortunate. So, full grid for the first time. It is the purple cars in first place, Agging Racing Squad 1-2 at the moment. Pretty sure they are our team's championship leaders as well. Yes, they are. We've got a full stack grip at the moment. A lot of cars going through to turn 1, obviously. Having to see how I'm going to commentate over this. So we've got Almighty in the lead right now. No Blaine according to the timing table, so I'm not sure what's going on there. I am going to go with what I see on track. Yes, Almighty is in first place right now. Actually, Almighty making his debut, I believe, in this division. Reserve driving in the place of... that would be in the place of Opaki, yes. Driving for the Oppa X Racing team, who are currently last in the team's championship, by the way, but their drivers are now in P4 and P6 respectively, so you wouldn't say that. That would be an amazing result for the team if they are able to keep this up, but Almighty doing a really good job on his debut right now. I believe he entered the league pretty late, so he wasn't able to get a full-time seat for the season, but now he has been given this opportunity to make an appearance in Division 1, and it looks like for now he's making the most of it. So good job to Almighty so far, as he's now battling with Blaine. Did Blaine actually win a race? Yes, race winner Blaine, who won the first round of this championship. So yeah, we've got a pretty close pack still going on in this race. Let's have a look at who we've got over here. We've got Leon dropping back, having lag issues, I'm afraid. Got a really good, really strong second place in qualifying, so he gets 1 point from that. But unfortunately, having lag issues, not able to keep up with the rest of the guys, which is a real shame to see, as he is definitely capable of being in this battle we are watching right now. We've got two battles going on. We've got a pack for the lead, which consists of I think 4 cars right now, with Paul to make it in 5th, just about being, just being there, still pretty much well in slipstream. Then we've got Darkar, the Temi and Splastar fighting for 6th place, a little bit further behind. Not sure what happened to those guys. But yeah, and then we've got another scrap going on a little bit further back. As we go further back, the cars are a little bit further spread out, but still within slipstream range of each other. So very close all the way from first down to the bottom of the pack, if we exclude Leon, I'm sorry. And well, we've got this 4-way scrap going on for the lead still. It's again showing Blaine in first place. Well, on my screen at least, Almighty seems to be the man ahead at the moment. Not sure how that is happening. Yeah, now it's showing Almighty in the lead, but I think it's just going to be briefly, as Silva is now battling with, it's actually Blaine who actually is shown to be further ahead than it actually is on the timing table, so I'm not sure what's going on right there, but we're going to ignore it for now. We've got 3 people watching this stream right now. It's less than Division 2 yesterday, and Division 2 seeming to be a little bit more popular to watch, but if it's due to the close racing in Division 2, that shouldn't be an issue right now, because I was saying that, but Almighty made a mistake, so we've got the Again Racing squad with a little breakaway from Almighty right now, but Almighty should still be in the slipstream and should hopefully be able to catch back up to the guys in front, as Tailfire is also not too far behind either. The 2 Again squad guys pretty much going even right now. Hartman just behind Blaine, just about. Blaine leading the race at the moment, but he isn't in a championship fight, because despite him winning the first race, he did not race in the 2nd and 3rd round, so unfortunately because of that he is all the way down in 10th in the championship standings, and Hartman unfortunately had to go during the 2nd round. But otherwise he would be very much in the championship battle at the moment. Well, he still is. He's only 10 points behind the Temi, who is currently in P6 and our championship leader at the moment. The Temi in the championship lead, but hasn't won a single race yet. Got 2nd last time, which is his best result in this league. But yeah, not a race winner. Actually, the man in 2nd place, AG Capadonna, is all the way down in 11th place right now. So Emanos unfortunately DNF'd. That's 1 car less driving around. Not sure what happened to Emanos right there, but we're now down to 13 cars as Hartman. You want to go a slowdown penalty. So now Almighty is back in the battle for the lead of this race, but Hartman should still be able to catch back up to those two, to the duo in front, and be able to get back into the fight in no time. As yes, look at the slipstream, very powerful on this game, and especially around this track. Meanwhile, what was I saying? AG Capadonna, who is currently in 11th, is actually second in the championship right now, but only has one third place on the same. But I guess it's because many top drivers missing races. That's why I guess we've got the top two in the championship without race wins, because guys who did manage to win the race, so that would be Blaine, Dakar and Hartman, who are all here today. They all missed the race or DNF'd for whatever given reason, or both in Dakar's case, as he only managed to finish one race, and that's a race at Flevo, which he managed to win. Anyway, let's have a look at the championship as we are watching the battle for the lead raging on. So we've got Blaine, who's currently sitting in 10th place, as I previously mentioned, but I'm pretty sure he's going to make a lot of positions if he finishes in the top two. Then we have got Almighty, who of course is making his debut today. Behind those two guys, we've got Hartman, who we've just talked about. He's in P3 in the championship, 10 points behind the Temi, so if he can pull out a good result, and the Temi, who is down in P7, then maybe we can see a new championship leader after this round. We'll have to wait and see on that. So the Temi, our championship leader, has gone a 4th place, a 3rd place and a 2nd place in the last 3 races. Then the logical step would be to that he would win this race, but it doesn't look like that. He's all the way down in 8th, as we just see him drop 1 place on the timing table. So yeah, his championship is in danger right now, his championship lead. Meanwhile, we've got Tailfire, who also missed 1 race, down in 4th, 25 points behind the Temi. And Tailfire now finding himself in 5th place. Not quite there with the race leaders. I think he may be able to battle with Portermaker, who actually recently got past Tailfire. Portermaker being also making his debut today in this division. He is actually the Division 2 championship leader, and now standing in for destructively for this race. And I would say, as Division 2 driver, of course, being the championship leader, he seems to fit in well with the Division 1 guys, sitting in a quite comfortable P4 right now. Anyway, back to the battle for the lead. We've got a 3-way scrap right now. Looks like Hartman has managed to catch up back again to the duo of Blaine and Almighty, and now we've got ourselves a 3-way fight for the lead. And of course, unfortunately, I just noticed that Leon has also retired from this race, presumably due to his lag issues, which is a real shame to see. Just noticed that the reason Emanos retired actually was because of a disconnection, so that's unfortunate to see. Looking in Discord now. And let's have a look again. Let's actually have a look further behind for now. As did someone make a mistake? No, I don't think anyone did. But Almighty seems to have a little gap to Hartman right now, so I'm not sure what happened there. But meanwhile, let's have a look for the scrap for P6, as I see. Sorry, P7, as we've got quite some position changes going on. So we've got Splastar quite far behind. I don't think he's going to be able to pass the Temi. Actually, scratch that. He is passing the Temi on this uphill straight. As in the background we see the cross car of Tash battling with RX Game, and we've got another retirement in the form of AG Capadonna. I think also having lag issues, so that's going to throw his championship challenge in the works, as he was going into this round 2nd in the championship, so that's going to put a really big spanner into the works. You know, really cool detail. We've got Almighty and Hartman on the same gap for a brief moment there. Both exactly 1/10 behind Blaine. Just there. You know, I've still got the battle for between the Temi and Splastar going on. Temi, of course, being the championship leader, having a pretty mediocre race so far. Maybe we'll be able to catch up to Darkar, who is not too far ahead. Anyway, let's have a look further up the order. We've got Poltermaker in 4th place right now with Tilfire just behind. It looks like Tilfire managed to close in to Porter and now is looking to pass the XLD Racer car. I still need to... It is a real shame, I'm really sorry, please forgive me for this, but I still don't know all the team names. So that's a good one, I guess. So it's the GTN01 team. Poltermaker is driving for, his teammate being the Temi, who is currently down in P8. Meanwhile, while we are watching the battle for P4, actually Blaine got a managed to pull a second gap over Almighty and Hartman just for a brief moment there, but not quite enough. Yeah, what was I saying? Let's watch on board with Poltermaker as he is chasing down Tailfire. I'm going to talk about the team's championship standings right now. So we've got the Agin Racing Squad, the purple cars, who currently sitting 1-2 right now. Having a 17-point lead over Spinala F1 team in 2nd place. Sorry, it's of course meant to be pronounced Spinala. Anyway, so those guys are in 2nd place. They are 17 points back, but they are only 4 points ahead of. I can't do maths. I'm sorry, 6 points ahead of the GTN01 team, the team of Poltermaker for this round, and the Temi. Poltermaker, of course, being a reserve driver in this race. We've got Cross Autosport in 4th place. Didn't score a lot in the 1st round, scored quite a lot of points in the 2nd round, and then scored a moderate amount of points in the 3rd round. Then we've got Hellas Racing, who unfortunately are not looking too good right now. P11 and DNF right now. Then we've got the Darnos team with Darkar in 6th place and Eminos having retired from the race. Then unfortunately in last place we've got Opar X Racing, but I think after this race they're not going to be in last anymore, as we've got one driver of that team in P2 and we've got RX Gamer in P8 right now, so they're doing a really good job and they are looking really good to score some big points, some crucial points for their championship efforts today. Meanwhile, it looks like Hartman has made a couple of mistakes and now has lost touch with the race leader. So it looks like for now, Hartman seems to be out of the battle for the race win, unfortunately. Ooh, Darkar dropping down the order. Oh no, that's the Temi dropping down the order as he's the first driver to make a pit stop, but I think, I'm not sure if he was in a battle with anyone. I'm pretty sure he was, but I can't remember with whom he was battling prior to his pit stop. But he's looking to make an undercut on the guys ahead of him, being the first person to pit in, of course. It's a strategy that you can do, pit early, get out over a second ahead and get away from the guys behind you. Get out to slipstream, have some clean air, and not having to worry if you have to pace to stay ahead, obviously. But the downside, the obvious downside of pitting a bit early is that towards the end of the race, that your tyres may be in worse condition than the cars behind you, and that could leave you vulnerable towards the end of the race. So we'll have to see how the Temi's pit stop strategy is going to work out, as he's now back out on track, all new tyres. Just 6 seconds behind Darkar, who has, I think, also pitted, I'm pretty sure. Because, yeah, I think Darkar has pitted as well. I'm sorry if I missed it, but Darkar also going for an early stop, it seems. Meanwhile, we've got Blaine and Almighty swapping positions on the timing board. On track, Almighty seems to have the edge for the time being. Blaine just a little bit further back. Mighty running just within track limits, using all the space available. Hartman having lag issues right now. I'm not sure how that is happening. Being in the pits now, he hopes to get back in the fight for P1. Although saying that he has lag, it is a bit concerning. So hopefully he will be able to get back in the fight shortly. Also, I was complaining about lag this race. I'm not sure how come. Not sure how long a pit stop is around here, by the way. I think Tash has also pitted by now, who's now behind Detemi. I think those two were in a battle previously, so it looks like Detemi managed to undercut Dash for 9th place, and looks like he's got a little comfortable margin to Tash for now. But let's see if he's going to be able to hang on to that. Meanwhile, we've still got the battle for first going on. They are stretching their tyres now as they are over halfway through this race at the moment. Pretty sure that they're going to pit shortly for new tyres. At least one of them. I'm surprised no one has tried the undercut yet. That could be a deciding factor in this race. My guess is that they are both going to come into the pit at the end of this lap. I don't know, maybe they just want to stick together, waiting for the other guy to pit. Not too sure, and not too sure. Anyway, they seem to be fine with slipstreaming each other. Still fighting for first place, with 11 laps to go in this race. But yeah, they're really stretching their tires right now. They're about to do 13 laps out of the 23. So, but that means they're going to be in fresh tires for the second half of this race. So maybe there's a reason why they're setting out this long. There probably is, though. Meanwhile, Mighty got there by quite a margin. I think Blaine made a small mistake. Meanwhile, we've got Splastar in 3rd place, who's also yet to pit, I'm pretty sure. So is RX Gamer, who's in P4 right now. Then I believe Hartman is pitted, Tilfy is pitted. I think all the other guys have made their pit stops by now. I think Portermaker has actually lost quite a bit of time in the pit stop phase, because I'm pretty sure he was running in P4 before the pit stop rounds, but now he is down a few spots. You know, I've got Blaine into the pits and Almighty staying out. Is he going for one stop? Is he going for a 0 stop? I'm wondering at this point, because that's a little bit long to go with for a 1 stop. Anyway, Blaine is about to come out of the pit. We see RX Gamer just not about to overtake Blaine, and Blaine coming out comfortably in 2nd place, with Hartman in effectively 3rd place, but he has lost a lot of time, probably due to the lag. I'm not sure. Yeah, that's unfortunate to see that he has lost a considerable amount of time. You know, of course, Splastar just coming out of the pits. I'm dropping a few spots, but the pit stops have definitely shaken up the grid a little bit. Because Portermaker, for example, has dropped down 2 places, and we've got Almighty who's yet to pit both. Are they both going for a 0 stop, I'm wondering at this point, because, as I said, 14 laps is quite long on one set of tyres, if you're going for a 1 stop at least, so that'll be interesting to see how that is going to develop. But of course, the longer you stay, oh, there we go, Almighty is actually going for a pit stop, a pretty late one, in fact. Probably, my guess maybe would be, new guess here, that he was thinking of doing a 0 stop, but then noticing that his tyres are starting to wear out, that he decided to come into the pits anyway. You know, RX is staying out for the time being. No one has attempted a 0 stop to my knowledge yet, probably apart from a few guys further in to the back of the field. Or a Mighty searching health Blaine, so Mighty having an almighty pit stop right there, having a 2-second advantage to Blaine for now, but Blaine should still get a little bit of slipstream, and with a good pace, he will be able to catch back up to Almighty in just a few minutes. So the next few laps are going to be crucial if to see who is going to take home the win today. I think Blaine is indeed in slipstream again. So Blaine's shortly going to be back in the fight. Almighty just hasn't done enough to get out of the slipstream range. Blaine just about hanging on. Meanwhile, let's see if we've got any battle going. Yes, there we go. We've got the Temi and Splastar fighting for 8th place in this race. See how they get on. The Temi cutting too much. That's going to cost him a little bit, but he should still be able to get some slipstream and get back in that battle. All the way down in 9th place, the Temi is not a good day for him. And as he's now, I think he was just about maintaining his lead in the championship, but that gap is coming down after this race. I think Hartman is definitely going to jump into 2nd place, and that's off 1st place, even depending on the points distribution, which I don't know by head if Hartman is going to overtake. Let's see, he's going to take 10 points if things stay as they are. I'm not counting it, factoring qualifying, but if Hartman gains 10 yes, that means he will be taking over the lead on a race win. On countback, he will be in the lead if things stay as they are, and I think Hartman is really rapidly catching up to RX Gamer, who is on a 0 stop, it seems like. So Hartman is going to be in 3rd. If the Temi finishes in 9 and Hartman in 3rd, then we're going to have a new championship leader after this round. And if Hartman finishes 4th, or if they finish 5 places apart from each other, then Hartman is also going to take the championship lead on countback. Because as I previously mentioned, Hartman does have 1 race win on his name, but the Temi doesn't, so that would mean that Hartman would surge ahead in the championship. If things stay as they are, if Hartman gets 3rd and the Temi 8th. You know what looks like Blaine let's have a look at Hartman's teammate Blaine, who's now fighting for the lead and looking to make up for his missed the previous 2 rounds which he missed, hoping to score some solid points, shooting up the order again. Blaine now up in the lead for this race for a brief moment. Almighty surging ahead. Really impressive stuff from Almighty on his debut this weekend, being a reserve driver. He should walk up to one team, and if one team has an inactive driver, then he is looking really strong to take over a vacant seat if that happens to pop up later in the season. Let's see if there are any seats in danger. I don't think there are. I think all drivers, yes, we had a full grid, so everyone either managed to get a reserve driver or they simply attend the race, so no seats in danger because of that, no inactive drivers, which is good to see, unless one driver decides to pull out on his own. Then we'll get an interesting situation. Then we'll be up for that driver's teammate who is going to pick up the seat, and if I were that person who would pick a new driver for their team, I would try to recruit Almighty at this point, because on his debut he's fighting for the win, so looking like a really strong driver. I'm looking forward if he's going, and I hope he's going to also race in Season 2, because I would love to see him full-time in this division. He's really impressed me so far in this race. Blaine getting a really good run through the S sections to back up into the lead, but it's not going to. He's not going to be in the lead for long as Almighty gets him back in the slipstream. Meanwhile, I think we've got a battle further down the order between. Let's see, we've got Tash and Anthony being close together to each other, and we've got Splash and the Temi also pretty close. I think those are the battles we're watching, and maybe one potential battle that is brewing, perhaps, is the battle for P4 between Ilfire and Darkar. If Darkar manages to really nail a few laps, and he can get, I think he already has a little bit of slipstream from Tailfire. So if Darkar can nail a few laps, then we could see ourselves a battle for P4 as well. Well, let's have a quick look at the battle for P7 between Splastar and the Temi. Pretty sure they've been battling it out for the entire race so far. Great to see. The Temi running wide through the hairpin, Splastar coming through, but the Temi is going to get a good run through the second hairpin, now approaching the third hairpin. Be careful not to cut that hairpin because it has ruined a few people's races. But the Temi still in 8th place, and he actually managed to. He was previously battling with Tash, I'm pretty sure, because his battle for P8 has now turned into a battle for P7. So the Temi cutting the corner, that he got a small slowdown from that. Still should be able to catch back up in the slipstream. Seems to be a nature around this track. If you just stick with another car, even if it's 1.5 seconds, then it should still be able to catch back up. Meanwhile, back to the battle for the lead. It is Almighty in the lead with a 6/10 gap. Haven't taken the lead after the fast chicane section. Approaching the hairpin section now, as I would like to call it. Big braking zone into the almost 180-degree hairpin. By far the slowest corner on the entire circuit. Very good lines from those guys. Let's have a look at what with Blaine actually chasing those guys down to see what lines they are taking, where they're braking. Let's analyze them for a moment. So Blaine has to brake around the 50 meters, so really hard apex to hit. Almighty carrying a little bit more speed. I think he meant to use more of the track space to get a better run through that corner, but Blaine is going to get the slipstream and probably pass Almighty shortly. Braking around 70 meters for this corner, hitting the apex beautifully, relatively late apex, getting a good run out of the corner, and now Blaine is in the lead, but Almighty is going to get back at Blaine straight away. Look at Almighty before the braking zone, on the edge of the track limits, with his left tire touching the outside white line, so using all the space to his exposure. He's showing what those Division 1 drivers are capable of, or what it takes to compete at the top level of this game. Because I think I'm looking at Almighty right now, I think he's actually, just noticed this, I think he's driving on a pad, which is always interesting to see. Most people in this game obviously driving keyboard, and some people may even know this, but the gamepad is also a viable option, as it's previously been proven by the Temi, who's also a controller user. Yeah, interesting to see another gamepad user on here, and one fighting for the lead at that. We've got 3 laps to go in this race. The battle for P1 is still raging on between Blaine and Almighty. I'm pretty sure those two guys are fine in front. They're going to continue battle with each other. Let's have a look further down the order. So we've got Hardman in no man's land right now, 7 seconds behind the leading pair. He's looking at taking home a lonely 3rd place right now. Meanwhile, a battle for P3 has begun. Steelfire got a corner cuts warning. Slowed down a little bit, and that has allowed Darkar through, but Steelfire is still very much in the slipstream. It's going to get back at Darkar. And yeah, battle for P5 also looking very strong for now. It looks like that battle's going to last until the very end of this race. Then, looking further down the order, we've got Poltermaker in 6th place. Pretty much no man's land right now. 9 seconds behind Tailfire and 6 seconds ahead of Splastar, so he's no man's land. Splastar seems to have gotten away. What happened to the Temi? He was previously having a battle with Splastar, but looks like after a couple of mistakes, he seems to be in no man's land. And is he lagging right now? Because he seems to go pretty slowly. I think he may be. I think he may have some lag as Tash and Anthony are rapidly catching the Temi, so that's a disaster for the Temi, our championship leader, who is going to lose that championship lead to Hartman if things stay as they are. Really unfortunate to see. Looks like the Temi having some lag issues. Meanwhile, let's have a look to the battle of the lead. It's 2 laps to go now, and we've got Blaine in the lead with Almighty Device just behind. This is going to go down to the wire, and so, they're going up the hill now to the hairpin section. Long braking zone, you want to brake around 100 meters, but around 110 meters actually. One of the longest braking zones in the entire game. While Blaine searching ahead. I'm pretty sure he's going to be leading coming into the final lap, but it's not over. Almighty, yes, as we can see there, having a lot more momentum, getting some drag and carrying more speed through the corners, back in the lead again for this brief moment. Now we've got Blaine back ahead as they are about to start the final lap of this race. Who's going to win this race? Let's do this. It's Blaine just ahead of Almighty as they start the final lap of this race. Going into turn 1, let's see how they get on through turn 1. Both beautiful. Hitting the apex fine, almost identical in fact. And Almighty having 2 wheels out of the track, using all of the space available to get the maximum out of the car. Really a perfectionist if you ask me. But we've got Blaine who had a better run. Ooh, Blaine having a poor run out of the corner. That's Almighty back up into the lead again. Going down the main straight down to the fast left, right, left section. Blaine taking that section a little bit better, is now surging ahead just by a little bit of Almighty. Almighty running wide through the hairpins, going to be very close. They are pretty much even now. Going into the final section of this race. Who's going to win this race? I don't even know. It looks like Blaine's ahead for now, but Almighty is going to get that slipstream. I'm pretty sure he's going to get past Blaine, but now it's going to come down to the final corner. Who's going to take the corner better, and who's going to lose out here? Because it's whoever takes the final corner better. It looks like Blaine is taking a better line, but Almighty going for a better exit. It's very close between them. They're almost even. Who's going to win this race? Is it Almighty or is it Blaine? It is Blaine who takes home the win by 1/10. A very close race between the two. GG to those guys. Hartman is going to come out into a lonely 3rd place. But meanwhile, let's watch the battle for P4. It looks like Tails are just about to hang on maybe. While Darker getting a good run off the final corner. But it looks like it isn't enough for Darker. And Tailfire is going to hang on for 4th place. Meanwhile, we've got Splastar, who is soon going to bring home a solid 6th place for him. Good effort from him today. We've got Poltermaker in 7th place, no man's land. Do we have any battles? No, it looks like everyone has spread out. Looking at the battle for P10 perhaps actually. So we've got Splastar coming home in 6th place. Let's have a look further back as RX and Anthony are coming around the final corner. And it looks like RX is just about going to hang on to 10th place. Anthony trying to put RX under pressure, but it isn't enough. But yes, a very insane race indeed. And it's Blaine who takes home the win in this race, his 2nd win of this season. The first person to take home a 2nd win in Division 1. I'm going to post the results and I'm going to update the championship standings shortly. Okay, and that will be it for the stream. Thank you everyone for watching. We'll see you back next week as we'll be going to New Jersey, I believe. No, I think we're going to Rio next round. I'll have to check on that. I'm pretty sure it's Rio, actually. So, I'll see you next round.